Welcome back, my casual friends. Casual Duelist here. Still using the other mat. Still haven't gotten a chance to get rid of the water damage. Run that through a wash cycle to get the regular mat back. I do have another deck. Unfortunately, this was also one that got hit a little bit with some water damage. So we are going to go digital again today. And just real quick on this deck, it was requested, oh my goodness, it feels like forever ago, and I've just been toying with how do I build Horus the Black Flame Dragon today. I almost copped out a couple of times. I wanted to go a little too straightforward, doing something with like the level mechanic, or even just do like another throwback and perform like a GOAT format build. Unfortunately, I lost the Horus cards, so I have the digital version. Still pretty cool, but I do think that you guys will get this one really easily because this is going to use a good portion of Dragon Link core. So real quick, let's get you guys the breakdown of the deck. Let's see if this guy wants to go ahead and focus. Maybe not. We're going to have two normal monsters, so I think you guys know Dragoon's going to be in here. 22 effect monsters, 16 spells. The breakdown into the extra deck is going to be, of course, Dragoon, 3 Synchros, and 11 Links. And then I just sort of toss another Link in my side deck because that's what I do when I'm building. Just in case you guys were curious. Sometimes I just throw things into the side deck just to make sure that I don't have to research them. Because, honestly, this thing's like really intuitive. So you can hit this. You can add either from the database or you can look at just cards that you own. And then, of course, you can, like I said in the last video, you guys can make multiple collections and then show off all the cards that you own that way. And, of course, I moved this guy since, of course, the Blackluster Soldier did get damaged with the water. So let's go ahead and get you that deck list. A lot of singles today. And, again, that's what Dragon Link is going to do for you. So we're going to run the single Absa Router, single Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, double on Black Metal Dragon, single Zephyros Blackwing, 1 Boot Sector Launch, 1 copy Chaos Dragon Levianeer, 1 Chaos Base, 1 DMZ Dragon, 1 Dark Magician, 1 Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, 3 copies Dragon's Ravine, 2 copies Dragon Shrine, 3 Horus 6, 2 Horus 8, Monster Reborn at 1, Noctovision Dragon at 1, Quick Launch at 3, Red Eyes Black Dragon, at 1, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon at 1, Red Eyes Fusion at 1, Rocket Recharger at 1, Rocket Synchron at 1, Tracer at 3, single Starleash Seafort, single White Dragon Wyverburster, 3 copies World Legacy Guard Dragon, and 1 copy World Legacy Succession. A lot of common sense in here. I do think I mussed up once. I do think that you take out the Dragon Buster. I originally planned trying to do something with Dragoonity, at which point you would have been able to, of course, equip this card. And then once it's equipped, we would be able to shut down our opponent's extra deck plays. And I do think that's a remnant. So you guys can pick any one card. Obviously, if you have more than 1 Chaos Space, that'd be a great choice here. You could up Shrine if you really wanted to. You could add another World Legacy Succession in here. You could add Raigeki in here. You could add Feather Duster in here. Raigeki would probably be one of the better ones. However, that's going to stop Horus from being able to evolve properly. So you guys can use that one as a free space if it ends up actually being dead because I didn't really do my homework. The extra deck, pretty straightforward. We're going to have a single copy Appaloosa, single copy Borreload Savage, single copy Boral Sword, 1 copy Pisty, 1 copy Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 each of Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn for the Nightmares, Predaplant Verde Anaconda to make our Dragoon easier, 1 Quad Boral Dragon because he's amazing, obviously Dragoon, 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend because he's one of my favorites. If you guys have the Chaos King Synchro, obviously that'd be another great play. And of course the single striker, and I don't know why this wants to do this. So that is the deck list, my friends. I do hope this helps. I hope that this satisfied the Horus challenge in today's game, and I hope that you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, and you're not already, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. The digital deck lists are not going to last forever. I just need to reinvest in some very key cards, and once I do, I'm going to be straight back to physical cards. Some of my decks actually don't use cards that got damaged, and as I come across those lists, I promise you, those will make it into rotation as well. So, class dismissed for the majority of you. Everybody else who wants to know the what they do portion, stick around. We're about to go through the whole deck. But everybody else, you have a great day. So, we're going to start with Absol. And if you guys know this one, if you control a rocket, you can special summon this from your hand. So he is an extender. You can only special summon Absol once per turn this way. That's fine, we're only running one. If this is sent to the graveyard, add a rocket monster from the deck to the hand using this effect only once per turn. That's great. That's really going to help us with our links. Next up is Collapse Serpent. I think you guys know this. Cannot be normal summon set. Can only be special summoned by removing opposite attributes. Since this one is dark, you have to banish a light. And when this goes from field to grave, you can add the Wyver Burster. Wyver Burster, the white dragon, all the way at the bottom. Same thing, opposite effects. Since it's light, you'll have to banish a dark. Still can't normal or set. And when it goes, you can add Collapse Serpent. So that's all fairly easy. Next one is the Black Metal Dragon. Very cool card. Allows you to target one Red Eyes monster you control. Equip this from your hand or the field as a to the target. Give it an additional 600 attack. If this is sent from field to grave, you can add one Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, you got Predaplant Verde Anaconda. Why do you need that? Because I want to add the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to my hand. Honestly. And I'm going to be able to do this very quickly by link oneing straight into Striker to go ahead and get my boot sector. So, yeah, Black Metal Dragon at 2. Very good. I didn't enjoy it at 3. At 3, it just didn't seem to pop up enough. We are going to be using Blackwing Zephyros. If it is in the graveyard, and again, if you have the extra Chaos Spaces, this card gets way better. You can return one face-up card you control to the hand. Again, you're going to have a field spell. Have some fun with it. Special summon this card, and if you do, you take 400 damage. That's fine. You can only use this effect once per duel. Also fine. Again, just sort of like an extension off of another effect. So let's talk about our boot sector. Again, we're only going to run one. It is, again, since I didn't want to go with Dragoonities because I would need some of the newer Dragoonity cards that I just haven't gotten yet. And I didn't count on doing digital decks. This is our only field spell. So again, run it at 1 because Striker Dragon is insanely consistent still, even at 1. We'll be able to get these effects. So again, all rockets gain 300 AD. And then you can activate one of the following effects. Special summon up to 2 rocket monsters with different names from the hand in defense, which again allows us to hit the field hard. And if your opponent controls more monsters than you, special summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard in defense up to the difference of cards. This is the one I'd like to use more often. It allows us to really hit the field with a floodgate and really do some real good damage. We are running the single copy Chaos Levianeer. Again, like most Chaos, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from the hand. This allows us to banish any combination of 3 light and or darks in the graveyard, and when summoned this way, we apply an effect based on the attributes that we used. Again, this card cannot attack for the rest of the turn after it uses it. That's fine. So if we do only light, we can special summon a monster back from the graveyard. If we do only dark, we can shuffle 1 card at random from our opponent's hand back into their deck. And if we do any mixture of dark and light, whether it's a 2-1 either way, we get to destroy up to 2 cards on the field and create some real disruption. So again, have some fun with it. Chaos Space, send 1 light or dark from the hand to the graveyard. Add 1 light or dark monster that cannot be normal summoned or set from the deck to the hand with a level between 4 and 8 with a different attribute than that monster. So again, if we want to send Zeph, we have to go after a light card. Again, that's fine. There are plenty light in the deck. I guess it would just be the Wyver Burster, but still, we'll be able to perform that extension. So maybe that's something I messed up a little bit on, but it still played. We do have the DMZ drag. Once per turn, target a level 4 or lower dragon monster in the graveyard and one dragon monster that I control. Equip 1 to that monster on the field as an equip spell. That makes it gain 500 attack. This was the other way I was using the Dragon Buster, and it's still kind of good. The only thing is you got to choose which dragon you want to put it on. So you want to go for something big. This way it has a little more stay power. And because it doesn't say what the attributes have to be, guys, this is a great way to give Horus level 8 that little extra something. Again, we get to control our opponent's spell cards while being able to control whether or not they get to special summon out of their extra deck, which is great. At the end of the damage step, if your monster equipped with this equipped card attacked, you can banish this card from the graveyard, destroy as many cards as possible equipped to that monster, and if you do, that monster can make a second attack. Again, we're pretty much never going to do that unless we're going for game, but it is an option nonetheless. Again, you guys understand Dark Magician. We'll brief over the Dragon Buster. Normally, you can target a Buster Blader that you control, equip this from the hand or field to it. We're looking for this. While this card is equipped to a monster, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. So again, DMZ Dragon is going to do that for us. And then while this is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. So you can break it off. It is a 1-star tuner. You can do some things with that. Realistically, we do want to equip it. We are going to use 3 copies of Dragon's Ravine anyway, even though we aren't really using the Dragoonities. Which would make the consistency on that Dragon Buster way better. Once per turn, you can discard a card, then activate one of these effects. You can either send a dragon from the deck to the graveyard or add a level 4 lower Dragoonity from the deck to the hand. Again, we're not running the Dragoonities. We're trying to send dragons. That is our big goal. Again, Dragon Shrine's going to do something very similar for this. Send a dragon from the deck to the graveyard. Then if it was a normal monster, we could send one more. Again, it's just basically our way of using Foolish Burials, but with keeping like the different names down. So with Horus, the Black Flame level 6, we have a card that is unaffected by spell effects. And during the end phase, if it destroyed a monster by battle, we can send it from the field face up to the grave, and then special summon level 8 from the hand or deck. This is the chosen method here for this deck. And another one of those things that we could do is once we go into the Striker Dragon, we get our field spell, we can play our field spell, we can do our things. But honestly, what we want is we want to be able to go into Red Eyes Darkness as quick as possible so that we can special summon 6 without having to actually perform tributes. Because normal summoning is still kind of slow if you're not playing a deck to slow down the opponent. And this will make it so that we can get to 8. 8 is, of course, better, and since it is not normal summon settable and has to be played by the effect of 6 and not be able to be special summoned in other ways, I did want him at 2 because it can brick. 1 might even be a better option and maybe increase the DMZ Dragon. The effect here is during either player's turn, when a spell is activated, you can negate the activation. If you do destroy it, you must control this face-up card to activate and resolve this effect. What does that mean? It means you can literally look at your opponent and they go, Pot of Extravagance. You're like, no. They're like, oh, okay, well, Ancient Chant, no. Okay, Ragakite, no. Feather Duster, no. So there's a whole lot of no going on. And again, we could equip, through DMZ Dragon, we could equip that Dragon Buster to that and just, ball out a little harder. You will be using Monster Reborn. Recycling from the graveyard is going to be necessary, especially once we start getting up into the different link plays. We are going to use Noctovision. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a face-down card or cards that you control, quick effect, you can banish this from the graveyard, negate the effect, and your opponent cannot target that face-down cards with card effects for the rest of this turn. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. If a dark dragon monster or monsters is special summoned to the field except during the damage step, you can play this from your hand. We want that. And if this is sent to the graveyard as link material, draw 1 card. So he's going to summon himself. Since we went predominantly dark and only went with 1 light, I think you guys know where we wanted to be. And so, yeah, Noctivision Dragon at 1. It's also not a bad idea if you want to up that one to 2. It definitely goes with the rocket themes. Quick launch, we maximize, special summon a rocket from your deck. It can't attack, destroy during the end phase. It's fine. We're just using this to build. Just real quick, was that a hard once per turn? No, that's not even a once per turn. So if you start with more than 1 quick launch, you're in business. You guys know Red Eyes Black. Let's talk Red Eyes Darkness. You can special summon this from the hand by banishing a face-up dragon monster that you control. Again, this could be Striker Dragon real quick. So we could go from the Dark Metal Dragon, or Black Metal Dragon, into Striker Dragon, grab our field spell and our Red Eyes Darkness, and then we can go ahead and start into our plays real big. So again, like Black Metal Dragon, kind of one of the only normal summons you really want to see in this deck. Once you special summon this, and it's on the field, during your main phase, you can special summon a dragon monster from the hand or graveyard, except same name, and you can only use this effect once per turn, which is fine. It is hard once per turn. I don't think it used to be. I think that's an errata change, but either way, this card is a boss. So you're going to want to use this for more extensions and go ahead and putting up your field the way you need it. The single Red Eyes Fusion, again, we play the Vert Anaconda in the extra deck. And, whoop, that's the wrong one. Vert Anaconda will let us go ahead and search that and use the effect whenever we choose. So that's another great play for us. Rocket Recharger, 1. If a dark monster or monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this from the hand or the field to the graveyard. Target one of the destroyed monsters. Special summon a dark monster from the graveyard with a different original name than the targeted one. You can only use this effect once per turn. While you control a dark monster special summoned from the extra deck, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks, which is good because it's really set up as a defensive card with that 0/21. But again, this is going to, it has some play, but it's not super integral. 1 is a very comfortable number for this card. Going to the Synchron, again, we do have some Synchros. So another 1-star tuner is an excellent thing to see. We do want to see that. When this is normal summoned, you target a level 5 or higher dark dragon in the graveyard, special summon it in defense with its effects negated, destroy it during the end phase. You can also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except dark this turn. This is 100% acceptable. So this is actually better mid-game, but again, as long as you can put up 7 stars real quick, we can get into a majority of our nice cards. And just real quick, 7s would be like our Red Eyes, our Noctivision, our Dark Magician for some reason, and Absarouter, and these will help us get to those 8-star synchros that we want to use so bad. We do have Rocket Tracer. We're going to be running this guy at 3. He is one of the better tuners. Quick effect, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a rocket from the deck except Tracer. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Dark this turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. That is fine. And again, this guy's got a nice little 4-star to him. So if we go ahead and we look back through our deck just real quick, we got both of the Baby Chaos Dragons, both 4s. That's going to get us to 8. Zephyros will get us to 8. DMZ Dragon will get us to 8. And the Rocket Recharger will get us to 8. There was one more. Starleech Seafort, which is actually our next card. So again, a lot of play to the level 8. Another great tech would probably be Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. Again, I'm waiting to see if those cards unbend. May have saved those ones from the water. So I didn't include them in here today either. I do have the 1-star leash for you though. When you summon this card, it's a good 1800, so it's decent. Effect, you can send any number of dragons from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Add a dragon from the deck to the hand whose level equals the total original levels of the monsters sent. So we get to do some creative math. You can banish this card from the graveyard, then target one level 8 light or dark dragon in the graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. I did mess up. This is the other light in the deck. But again, you kind of want to banish him by his own effect, so not as pertinent. But what is amazing here is Starleaf Seafort is actually going to let us go ahead and grab our Chaos Dragon Levineer. So we do have an out for that. Holy crud. This is one thing that I never get tired of not messing up on. Again, we went over Wyverburster earlier. Let's talk over the 2 World Legacy cards. First one is Guard Dragon. When this card is activated, you can target a level 4 lower dragon in the graveyard, add it to your hand, or special summon it. So we got 2 great ways to play. Once per turn, you can target a dragon monster you control, move that monster you control to another of your main monster zones. So if you guys are busy doing a link build and you got a dragon up front and you really want to put somebody else up front, do it. All you got to do is make the guy in the extra zone fall back to a main zone, and then you can continue linking like crazy. Again, you can only activate one of these per turn, but this is not a hard once per turn movement. So once you have 2 of these on the field, yeah, you're not going to special summon every turn just when you play, but you will be able to move multiple cards because it's a card once per turn, not a hard once per turn. And then the last one's just World Legacy Succession. It's just another monster reborn for this deck. Target a monster in the graveyard, special summon it to a zone, and link monster points too. You can only activate one of these per turn. It's fantastic. Again, we're playing a lot of link base, so it's going to come in handy. Just real quick, we're going to skip through most of this because most of this we use every week. So like Apollosa, we understand. We're there to stop monster effects. Boral Savage is the one I don't use too often. So again, this is why we need to get to 8 stars. If this is Synchro Summoned, you can equip a Link monster from the graveyard to it. If you do, place Boral counters equal to that Link monster's Link rating to this. If this card gains attack equal to half the attack of the monster equipped to it by its effect, which can be quite large at times. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you may remove a counter from this to negate the activation. You can only use this effect once per turn. So once per turn, Savage is going to go ahead and give you a negate. That's going to be fantastic. Boral Sword here to push over cards. Pisty, 1 level 4 lower dragon monster. Again, we do this really rapidly in this deck. You cannot special summon monsters except dragon monsters while this is face up. So again, it's going to limit you, but again, we're playing mostly dragons. During the main phase, you can target one of your dragon monsters that is banished or in the graveyard, special summon it to a zone that 2 or more link monsters are pointing to. And again, so you're going to put this behind something. And then with the World Legacy Guard Dragons, let's just point at field zones. So let's say this is our extra zone. And we just played him. We played World Legacy Guard Dragon. We brought back somebody else. We're going to go ahead, move him here, play our other card, get the extension play, link 2 into the spheres. And then if you had another World Legacy, you could move this here. This way your spheres would be pointing here, and as would be Pisty. So then we could special summon one of those banished or graveyard cards right here. Again, because it's not terribly consistent, especially since LB just went. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We do have the Hieratic Spheres like I was just talking about. Once per opponent's turn, if this is in the extra monster zone, which is why we need to make sure that zone stays freed up sometimes. Quick effect, tribute a monster from your hand or field. Return 1 face-up monster on the field to the hand. So again, if your opponent's going to make like a staggering play and the monster needs to stay to resolve, we can just go ahead and bounce that. And as long as it wasn't a special summon effect that brought it to the field, we should be fine for the round. If this card is tributed, special summon 1 dragon monster from your hand or your deck and make its attack 0/0. Attack and defense. Using each effect only once per turn. Since this is during the opponent's turn, if you do trigger this during the end phase, one good move, and it's resolved twice, was I would go for my Red Eyes Darkness Metal, because again, I can special summon it from the deck. Yes, it was 0/0, but its effect was intact, and this allowed me to then extend on more plays my turn. So that was pretty cool. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Tuner plus non-tuner Dark Dragons. This is a little harder to do because you need like 2 stars. I don't know why he's in here. You can tribute a monster, target one Archfiend. You know what? Yeah, I shouldn't have put this guy in here. So that's a free space, guys. That's my bad. Yeah. Okay, so 1 IP Masquerade lets us play on the opponent's turn. Nightmare Package for disruption effects. Verd Anaconda to go ahead and get our Red Eyes Fusion ready. Quad Boral. 2 dragons, including a rocket. Discard a card, target a face-up monster on the field. Cannot special summon link 2 or lower from the extra deck the remainder of the turn. Also destroy the monster you targeted. Then, if it was a link monster, you could special summon any number of rockets with different names from the hand or grave up to the card's link rating using this effect only once per turn. And again, this is another great way to break and build boards simultaneously. You guys know Dragoon. Quick on to Scarlight Red. Its name is always treated as Red Dragon Archfiend while it is on the field or grave. Once per turn, destroy as many special summoned effect monsters on the field as possible with attack equal to or less in this cards other than this card, inflicting 500 points of damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. And again, I did talk about tokens the one day because there was one effect where you didn't get something because they didn't go to the grave. This is just worried about the destruction. So again, if your opponent has a token-filled field, maybe they played Tellus or something, but failed to perform their summon, this would be a great way to still punish them while clearing the board. And then last up is our Striker Dragon. And that is 1 level 4 lower dragon. If this is link summoned, you can add 1 boot sector launch from deck to hand. So we're going to do that. You can target 1 face-up monster you control and 1 rocket in your graveyard. Destroy the monster on the field. And if you do, add the other one from the graveyard to the hand. Each effect only once per turn. This is not bad. You could always target himself if you really need that. But again, I found myself more or less going into Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon on this play. I would get my field spell, and I would dip out and just finish my plays the way I wanted. So that was the deck. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was fun to play. Let me know what you guys would put in here instead of the Archfiend Bane. I feel like I put in the wrong Hot Red Dragon here, and that's entirely on me. And any other cards that you'd want to play, you guys could. Like Underworld Goddess would make a good tech in here. There are some other things. Like if you had him, you could do a double Hieratic Seal. I don't think he got limited in any way in the ban list. You could add more synchros to the deck if you really wanted to. But yeah, I messed up. I didn't have a 2-star tuner, and I don't know what the heck I was thinking when I did that. So that's a shame on me, friends. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.